Picture this. You're walking into a room full of strangers. The air is thick with small talk, laughter, and the subtle hum of social navigation. You take a breath, steady yourself, and wonder, how can I make these people genuinely like me? Not just a fleeting hello or a polite nod, but a real sense of connection. The kind that opens doors, warms hearts, and leaves a lasting impression. Now imagine you're drifting into sleep. In the quiet space between wakefulness and dreams, your mind begins to replay the day's encounters, weaving together fragments of conversation, facial expressions, and fleeting moments of connection. It's in this twilight zone that your subconscious starts to process the subtle art of likability. What if the secrets to being liked, truly liked, could be unlocked by understanding the psychology at play in these everyday interactions? Let's dive into the mind-blowing concepts that shape human connection and discover how you can use them to become the person everyone wants to know. First, let's shatter a myth. Likability isn't about being flashy, perfect, or endlessly agreeable. It's about resonance. People are drawn to those who reflect their own emotions, values, and aspirations. This is where the mirror technique comes into play. Imagine you're in a dream, standing in front of a mirror that doesn't just reflect your appearance, but your mood and energy. When you interact with someone, subtly mirroring their body language, speech patterns, and emotional tone, you send a powerful nonverbal signal. I get you. It's not mimicry, it's empathy in motion. Try this the next time you're talking to someone. If they're leaning forward, lean forward just a bit. If they're speaking softly, lower your own voice. If they're animated and using their hands, allow your gestures to flow more freely. This subtle synchronization taps into a deep psychological need for connection. People instinctively trust and feel comfortable around those who reflect their state. In your dreams, you might notice characters who instantly make you feel at ease. Chances are, they're mirroring your energy. But mirroring alone isn't enough. Let's introduce another concept, the yes ladder. This technique is about building agreement step by step. Think of it like climbing a ladder in your dreams, each rung representing a small yes, a point of agreement or shared experience. Start with easy, universal statements. It's chilly in here, isn't it? If they agree, you've got your first yes. Then move to slightly more personal, but still uncontroversial topics. I always find these kinds of events a bit overwhelming at first. Another yes. As you build these micro-agreements, you create a psychological momentum. By the time you reach a deeper topic, the person is primed to agree, to trust, and to like you. In dreams, this ladder might appear as a series of doors, each one opening a little wider as you gain trust. In waking life, it's a tool for guiding conversations toward genuine connection. The secret isn't manipulation, it's alignment. People like those who make them feel validated, understood, and supported. Now let's talk about one word that changes everything. Because. Research shows that people are far more likely to respond positively when you give a reason, even if it's simple. In your dreams, imagine you're asking for something, a favor, a moment of attention, a chance to share your story. When you say, "Could you help me with this because I'm really struggling?" the because signals vulnerability and authenticity. It tells the other person you value their help and you're willing to let them in. Why does this matter? Because likability is built on trust. When you provide a reason, no matter how small, you're inviting the other person into your experience. You're saying, "I want you to understand me." This opens the door to empathy, and empathy is the foundation of genuine connection. Let's make it practical. Imagine you're at work and you need assistance with a project. You could say, "Can you help me?" Or you could say, "Can you help me because I see you're really good at organizing details and I could use your expertise." The second approach not only flatters but also builds rapport. You'll see the other person's posture soften, their smile broaden, and their willingness to engage deepen. It's a tiny shift, but the impact is massive. But what about confidence? People are drawn to those who radiate quiet certainty, not arrogance, but self-assurance. In your dreams, confidence feels like walking through a familiar landscape. Every step is sure, every path feels possible. In waking life, Confidence is about owning your story. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, sharing your flaws and uncertainties makes you more relatable. Try this. The next time you feel nervous in a social situation, acknowledge it. Say, "I always get a little anxious at these things, but I'm excited to meet new people." Instantly, you've created a bridge. You're real, honest, and approachable. You'll find others relax around you, often admitting their own nerves. This shared vulnerability is magnetic. Now, let's zoom in on a concept that often gets overlooked. Active listening. In dreams, the most comforting characters are those who really hear you, who seem to understand your words, your tone, even your silences. In life, active listening means putting away distractions, making eye contact, and responding thoughtfully. It's about asking follow-up questions, showing genuine interest, and reflecting back what you've heard. Here's a simple trick. When someone shares something, respond with, "That sounds important to you, tell me more." This phrase does two things. First, it signals that you're paying attention. Second, it encourages the other person to open up, deepening the conversation and the connection. People remember those who make them feel seen and heard. But being liked isn't just about what you do. It's about what you feel. The emotions you carry into interactions set the stage for connection. In your dreams, you might notice that your mood shapes the world around you. Colors are brighter when you're happy. Faces are friendlier when you're confident. In life, your emotional state is contagious. If you approach others with warmth, curiosity, and optimism, they'll feel it. Practice this before entering a social situation. Pause, take a breath, and think of 3 things you're genuinely grateful for. This simple shift primes your mind for positivity, which will radiate through your words, facial expressions, and body language. People are drawn to those who make them feel good about themselves and the world. Let's not forget the power of stories. In dreams, stories are vivid, immersive, and memorable. In conversation, sharing a small, personal story creates a sense of intimacy. It shows vulnerability, humor, and humanity. If you want to be liked, sprinkle your conversations with quick anecdotes, moments of triumph, embarrassment, or surprise. For example, if someone mentions a hobby, share a related story. "I tried painting once, but ended up with more color on myself than on the canvas." This makes you relatable, approachable, and memorable. People don't connect with perfect facades. They connect with real experiences. And here's a mind-blowing insight. Likability is reciprocal. When you approach someone with genuine interest and kindness, they're far more likely to return the favor. In dreams, this shows up as a loop. Smiles beget smiles, kindness begets kindness. In life, the principle is the same. If you want people to like you, show that you like them first. Compliment sincerely, ask thoughtful questions, and celebrate their successes. But be careful. Authenticity is key. People can sense insincerity from a mile away. The goal isn't to flatter or manipulate, but to find genuine points of appreciation. Everyone has something worth admiring, a unique perspective, a skill, a story. Seek it out, acknowledge it, and watch how swiftly the walls come down. Now let's address a common fear: rejection. In dreams, the fear of being excluded can feel overwhelming. In waking life, it's a universal experience. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's often about timing, context, or the other person's internal state. If someone isn't receptive, don't take it personally. Instead, focus on what you can control: your attitude, your approach, and your willingness to try again. Resilience is attractive. The ability to bounce back, to keep showing up with kindness and curiosity, is a superpower. People are drawn to those who don't let setbacks define them. In your dreams, you might find yourself trying again and again until the door finally opens. In life, persistence pays off. Let's wrap up with a powerful technique: the Ben Franklin effect. If you want someone to like you, ask them for a small favor. It might sound counterintuitive, but psychological research shows that when people do something kind for you, they rationalize it by deciding they must like you. In dreams, this plays out as a character who helps you, then becomes your friend. In real life, it's as simple as asking, "Could you recommend a good book?" or "Would you mind showing me how this works?" The act of helping creates a sense of investment, which leads to deeper connection. So, how do you actually make people like you? It's not about being perfect, impressive, or endlessly agreeable. It's about resonance, empathy, and authenticity. Mirror their energy, climb the yes ladder, use the power of because, and share your stories. Listen deeply, radiate positivity, and show genuine interest. Ask for small favors, don't fear rejection, and keep showing up with resilience. In your dreams, connection feels effortless, magical, and deeply satisfying. In waking life, it's built moment by moment, through small choices and subtle shifts. The mind-blowing truth is this: you already have the tools to be likable. It's in the way you listen, the stories you share, and the warmth you bring into every room. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, let your mind replay these concepts. Picture yourself walking into a room, confident, open, and ready to connect. See yourself mirroring, building agreement, and listening with empathy. Feel the energy shift, the barriers fall, and the bonds strengthen. Tomorrow, bring these dreams into reality. You'll be amazed at how quickly people respond, how deeply they connect, and how much richer your life becomes. The art of being liked isn't a mystery. It's a set of practical, actionable skills. And with every conversation, every interaction, you're painting a new canvas, one where you're not just accepted, but truly valued. So sleep smarter tonight, knowing that the secrets to human connection are alive in your dreams and ready to transform your waking world.